Flosstube. I'm Pam. Welcome to my channel, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. Today is Wednesday, January 5th, and this is a regular Flosstube episode, number 50 something or other. I should have checked, but I didn't. We are back to a regular Flosstube schedule of every Wednesday, as long as I can keep my act together. Today, we'll do a little life update. I don't have much in the land of life updates. We'll do what have I been stitching on. We're gonna go over my 2022 plans for this year, and I've got a little mini shop update at the very end. Okay. Life updates. Not much is going on. I will say this. I have discovered that I haven't discovered this. This is something I've known for a long time, but it's coming to light again that I'm not very good at like decor. Like I don't have a natural aesthetic, if that makes sense. So my like Christmas window displays at the store have come down and I don't know what to do with them now. They're just big blank empty windows that look like blah. I'm thinking what I'd like to do, sorry, this isn't really life updatey, but it's what I'm staring at right now, is maybe hire like a high school kid and see if they'll like paint my windows. You know how like you can have your windows painted? I feel like that will cut down on my need to have like a display. I could have like a seasonal mural going on. Ugh, the things that I didn't think I'd worry about in having a shop. Like I hate the windows. Okay, anyway. I just had lunch with my mom, which was nice. Like life updates, not much. We're in that sort of like post-holiday blah. There's a lot of COVID going around. Yeah, I don't mean to be depressing. Let me think of something fun. My birds have been like super exciting lately. I haven't had anything new, but I have had like 3 woodpecker days. Like I'm getting the downy and the red-bellied and the flickers like all on the same day, which is always exciting. I don't even mind the starlings right now. And I've had a little Carolina wren at my feeder every day, and they're so saucy, and I love them so much. My birds have been making me happy. There, we had some little uplifting bird conversation. Speaking of birds, I had a new year, new start. I can't wait to show you. It is my first time ever doing a Reolist kit, and mostly my first time ever doing any sort of kit. I'm not really a kit stitcher, but I think it's called like Winter Day, but it doesn't say it anywhere on here, but I ordered some to have in the shop. They haven't come in yet, they're on their way. I ordered some to have in the shop, and I think they were called Winter's Day. But this is like the closest thing to full coverage I've ever done. And the yarn, it says that the fibers are woolen and acrylic yarn. So like this is the yarn I'm gonna show you. Can't get my act together, here we go. Like it's fuzzy a little bit. It has been interesting to work with. Wait till I show you how much I've done. I'm so excited about it. I meant to iron it and I didn't. I've got a whole bird in there. I mean, the whole bird isn't done, but it's done enough that you can tell it's a bird. Like, oh my gosh. It's so good. I'm gonna try to get it up close. So it has this interesting mix. I've never done anything like this before, where like there's full stitches that happen, and then there's a lot of, like all that light blue is half stitches. So it gives this sort of like multi-dimensional, it gives the feeling of depth. Maybe that's the word I want. Like there's different layers of scenery happening. Like the bird is obviously in the forefront. It's so good. So this is 4 days of stitching. I haven't stitched on it today. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with it. Like I don't want to stitch on anything else, which is good because I've got a whole bunch of days to stitch on it. We'll get into that with plans. So that was my New Year, New Start. Life update. If you watched my my whip parade, I mentioned that I lost 2 of my whips, and somebody mentioned check in the car, and I was like, you know, I should, because my husband checked in the car, and we all know that sometimes that's like having your kids look for something. He did a good job. They're not in the car. I have 2 missing whips. It's making me nuts. I cannot find them. I mean, maybe they're in the store somewhere. But like if they are, I've put them somewhere really, really good that I can't see. I don't know. I can't believe I've lost. I mean, I can. Sorry, I don't know why that popped in my head. And then my other New Year, New Start is the temperature tree. Nope, it's not. That's not what I'm doing this year. Oh gosh, Christy. I'm doing Temperature Library 2 by Christy's Corner. I have not started stitching the books yet, but I have started on the bookcase. I will stitch my first books this Sunday coming up. I don't know what day that is, the 8th? If today is the 5th? The 9th? Maybe? Anyway, I'm stitching it on a 16 count Way-Ada, and I've got the top of the bookcase. I haven't put the year in yet, but I've got the top of the bookcase done and the first shelf, so that like I'm just ready to stitch the books. So on Sunday, I'll stitch the first week of books, and I'll do a length of thread into the bookcase. I decided, let me fold over my fabric so that there's less light shining through. I'm doing the bookcase in Pelican Gray by Weeks Dye Works, is what I ultimately decided on. It had that like variegated sort of like that pickled beachy gray wood situation that's really popular right now. I liked that. And this is my color palette. I decided, holy moly, I've made like a knot. I decided to use essentially the same color key, so like the same temp ranges and the same colors that I did for Stitch Your Mommy's temperature tree. I liked them on the tree. I thought they'd make good books. I decided, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I did swap out a couple of colors. I'm doing the range, like the really variegated range with like when you have high temperature fluctuations, when you go from really cold to really hot. I did have to add in a couple colors down here last year, so I kept them in here for this year. Because Sarah, Stitch Your Mommy's, I think your name is Sarah. I'm really bad with names. If you ever come into the store, you'll have to come into my store like 5 times before I remember that your face goes with your name. I'm just really bad at stuff like that. Anyway, didn't have temperatures that cold. And we occasionally get temperatures in the 16 to 23 degree range here in Rhode Island. There's a fire truck going by. Can you hear it? It's loud. And there it goes. Okay. And then up in this color range, her yellows were more like a browny yellow, and I wanted them to be more yellowy yellow, and I added this like greenish yellow to go in between yellow and green. Anyway, I did a few little changes, but I'm really happy with it. I hope that they stitch out nice. That's where we're at. Those are my colors. If you have never seen a temperature chart before, the premise is that, at least for this one, the premise is that you stitch a book for every day, depending on the high temp in your area. Some people do fun things like add in a way to include the cold temps for the day, or like sparkly threads for precipitation. I do not, because my brain would go, it's drizzly today. Is it a rainy day or not a rainy day? Do I add a sparkly thread? Do I not add a sparkly thread? It showered for 10 minutes. Do I add a rain thread or do I not add a rain thread? Do I make a different sparkly thread for snow? As for rain, what about thunderstorms? I have to just keep it simple. I do the high temp only. I keep shaking the camera. I'm so sorry. So that's the only stuff I've stitched on because I've got a plan for 2022. I decided not to officially do WIPGO this year. I had a great time with it last year. WIPGO is a bingo-like game created by Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and you can find information about it on Facebook or go to Jessie Marie Does Stuff's YouTube page. I did it last year. I had a great time. But I didn't like the randomness. I need more of a plan. I am shaking the heck out of the camera today. I don't know if you guys are seeing the shake. And if so, I apologize. I'm gonna try not to touch the table because apparently it's super shaky today. I didn't like the randomness. So this year I decided to do something similar. I listed 23 projects. The ones that are in pencil are planned starts that I don't have a project picked out for yet. And the rest are just my whips. And so there's 2 a month. So you can see, I made this like really sophisticated looking. We've got January and February and March. So there's 2 per month. And so I have to work on those projects 10 days for each of those months. Thus the 1 through 10 situation across the top of the page. So you can see for my new year, new start, it's not that I didn't know what my new year, new start was going to be, it's that I couldn't remember the name. So now I can erase that and put the name. I've checked off 4 days. So that will get a solid 10 days of work on it before I put it away and take out Year at Hawk Run Hollow, which will actually come out this Thursday because this Thursday is the first Zoom Stitch Together of the new year. Oh my gosh, I forgot to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you all. I hope that you have a wonderful year, that it's healthy and happy and full of stitching. Anyway, which reminds me, I got to send out that email today. If you do not know what you were talking about because you've only just found me recently, I host 2 Zoom Stitch Togethers, 1 each per month. The first one being a Hawk Run Hollow Stitch Together, which is currently closed, but I may open it up depending on the numbers the next few months. And one that is still open to sign up for is my Fancy Folk Stitch Together, which if you are stitching a fancy folk, think Mirabilia, Bella Filipina. I'm a little looser about what a fancy folk is. So if you think you're stitching a lavender and lace, if you think you're stitching a fancy folk but you're not sure, you can email me and ask, and I can let you know whether it counts. The Fancy Folk Stitch Together is the 4th Thursday of every month. The Hawk Run Hollow is the 2nd Thursday. Is this the 2nd Thursday? That doesn't make sense. Maybe it's next. Hold on. I gotta look at my calendar. I don't know if I'm the 1st and 3rd or 2nd and 4th. Holy moly. How could I have messed this up so badly? Well, we can know how I've messed this up so badly. It's supposed to be the 2nd and 4th. I think I've wrote it down wrong. I think Hawk Run Hollow Stitch Together is next Thursday. I will figure that out. Wow, I went off on a side tangent that made absolutely no sense because I don't have my act together. So anyway, I'm going to try not to start all the things this year. I have a new year, new start planned, which I already started. I have a start planned for each of the 4 seasons, and I have a birthday start planned. Now I know other starts will happen. I know in March, one of the things on my plan is to do the Bridgerton box that I received last year that I've been saving for the next season of Bridgerton to come out. So that comes out in March. I will do 10 days of stitching on that in March. So that will be a planned start. Other than that, I don't have any plans. So that was 7 planned starts for this year. I know, there are things that I know I want to start. We'll see if I can. I think I always want to have a cottage garden samplings, which in my whip parade video, I consistently said carriage house samplings when I meant cottage garden samplings, because if you've watched me for any length of time, you know that carriage house samplings, cottage garden samplings, and country cottage needleworks are interchangeable in my brain. I apologize. I meant to say cottage garden samplings. I always want to have one of those going. Currently working through the Songbird Garden series, which means I have to start the next one. So I'll probably start that, I don't know, maybe I'll start it this month, maybe next month. Because if I work on 2 projects every month for 10 days, then I have 10 to 11 days, except in February where there's less. I have 10 to 11 days to work on something that I just want to work on. Could be a new start, could be an ornament that I have to stitch for the holidays. It could be something I have to do for like a smalls exchange, or, just keeping up a series that I want to continue on with. So yeah. Okay, anyway. So that's my plans for this year. Nothing super fancy. I'm just kind of keeping it low key. I'm also going to try not to do any stitch alongs. No stitch alongs. I'm not getting sucked in. I don't really feel like I have a lot to talk about. I feel like we just chatted recently. We did. I did a whip parade on Sunday. Was that Sunday? It must have been. Which brings us to, I know I'm forgetting to say something that's like really important. Okay, we're just gonna move on. It'll either pop in my head or it won't. Shop update. What's going on at the shop? Stitching, nope. It's not Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. It's Stitch New England. I'm in the process of reworking the website a little bit. So if you did not receive the newsletter in January, make sure to sign up for the newsletter so you can get February's newsletter. So you can keep up with the goings on that's happening here at the shop. Number 2, you sign up for the newsletter by getting on the website and scrolling all the way to the bottom where it says like, stay in the loop. That's how that happens. Number 2, I've got a few events happening at the shop this month. We've got a Meet the Finisher event on, I've got it on the board, on the 22nd from 11 to 2. It's just a drop in. Nicole Amaro will be here with some examples of her finished work. And she'll be happy to chat with you about the services she offers, and any questions about projects that you have that you may want finished. You can bring those in and she can look them over. So she'll be here from 11 to 2 on the 22nd. Floss and Friends Stitch Together. You need to pre-register for it. It's Saturday, January 15th. There's only one this month because the first was a holiday. It's $5 to hold your spot. You can register online or you can call the shop and I can register you. It's filling up fast. I think there's only 12 spots. I've already got like 9 filled. So because there's just the one, make sure that if that's something you're interested in, register sooner rather than later. And then the last Saturday of the month, the 29th, my friend Anna is coming down with her serger, and she will serge, if you have linen or Aida that has not been zipped around the edges and you want to have it serged, you can come on in. She'll serge it for you, and we're kind of limiting that to like maybe 4 cuts of fabric, not to exceed a yard of fabric total. Like don't bring in 4 yards of fabric, but you know, if you've got a half yard and 2 fat quarters or, you know, something like that, you can come on in and she'll be happy to serge them up for you. And she'll be here, I think 10 to 2 on the 29th. And I am teaching a beginner cross stitch class. I already forgot what day. It's on the website. You can register for it on the website. And that's on a Thursday evening towards the end of the month. What else is going on at the shop? I think that's it. I think those are the big things for this month. The market releases are going to start getting sneaked within the next month or so, because market is in like 2 months. I plan on doing pre-orders. So I will, as market releases come out, I will have a pre-order section on the website where you can pre-order things. So I'm hoping to get that up and running in the next week or so. And then lastly, just a highlight of something new at the shop this week. I have received in Winter Berries by Erica Michaels. They're so cute. I've never done a berry. This makes me want to do a berry. Look at how cute those are. You know the cardinal got me. I actually really like this monochromatic. I really like that. Oh, and the sheep. The sheep. But what I really wanted to say is I've scoured through my floss, and I actually had several sets of the floss that you need to stitch it, which is a gorgeous, by the way, gorgeous palette. So I pulled them together and put a few thread packs up on the website. So ooh, we lost one. They're up on the website if you are interested. And if I only have a few, so if you miss out and you still want one, email me and I can order them. I can order more. I think that's it. That's all I got. My camera keeps turning. It's a little wobbly today. It's gloomy too. It's very rainy and gloomy out. All right, so that's it for me. That's all I have. It's a short one. I hope that you all stay safe and healthy and happy. And there goes the heat, so it's a good thing we're done. And I will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.